What is up, everybody? My name is Nick Green.
And I am Cannon Gates.
And you're listening to Grounded in Greenville on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville. And before we get started, I know this is typically the part where we talk about ECU Sports. We are still going to do that here in a minute. But before we do that, we're adding a little bit of a new section here. So here at WZMB, we have three wonderful interns that do work with us now. Charlie, Jarrett, and Demetrius. We call Demetrius Meach, though, so if you ever hear me say Meach, I'm talking about him. But we have three wonderful interns, so I figured we're going to get a new segment on here called the Intern Story of the Week, where I'm basically going to let one of them come up with a story that's more important to them that they want to have shared on air right now, and we're just going to talk about it a little bit. So this week, our Intern Story of the Week is by Charlie. So Charlie's story is Yaolin Zhu. I probably pronounced that wrong. Please forgive me if I did. But Yaolin Zhu, an associate professor of pathology and laboratory medicine at Brody School of Medicine, is being recognized as emerging leader in healthcare by Becker's Hospital Review. For those of you wondering, what is Becker's Hospital Review? Well, let me tell you. Becker's Hospital Review the Becker's Hospital Review list recognizes up-and-coming leaders who are quickly rising through the ranks of their organizations, focusing on development, innovation, and improved outcomes. So Dr. Zhu, being a cancer survivor, has made quite a name for herself, establishing an innovative molecular service, securing a $250,000 industry-funded quality improvement grant to expand her molecular consultation services. So big congratulations to Yaolin Zhu, a big accomplishment for the Brody School of Medicine here at ECU. And I think it's just wonderful that we have that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some ECU sports now. ECU men's basketball played USF last night at home, did come up short. Cannon, what do you think about it?
Well, a 71 to, I believe it was 60 loss to South Florida last night. That was a tough one. Tough one to watch, really. I'm not going to lie, with how we played and everything, the fact we only lost by 11, I will say I thought we played worse than that.
Oh, 100%.
I thought we played like it was a 25-point loss.
We started off, it was 11-0 USF right off the rip. And we came back, made it a 2-point game, and then we could never climb that ladder to officially go on top of them. We kept trying. We got very close. We could not end up coming back. It was a disappointing game.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, the 2-point game. I think at one point it was 37-35, and I believe in a minute and 40, it was 48-35.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. We could never actually climb that ladder to get ahead, and it was just very unfortunate, very disappointing to watch. And, we got a big game coming up on Saturday going to Charlotte, North Carolina to play the UNCC 49ers. UNCC is 7-1 in the conference. Right now, they're leading our conference right now. Big matchup here. UNCC's Barstool is posting, talking a bunch of crap about ECU. I would like to see us go into Charlotte and take care of business, you know. I think, it's going to be a tough thing to do, but UNCC, I would love to see us take care of business against them. They beat FAU. They're a tough opponent.
Right now they're considered to be about the 12-13 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think about, considering the American. I think everybody thought coming into the season, unless someone were to win the American tournament, that FAU and Memphis would be the two that make it and no one else would.
Yeah.
But right now, with how the conference is playing, even South Florida probably has a chance.
South Florida has a real solid chance,
if they can beat FAU or Memphis. I don't know exactly the rest of their schedule.
I'll say South Florida's win put them at, 8-1 in the conference, I think?
I believe so.
I know they only have one loss. I don't remember how many wins they have. But South Florida's right up there. FAU's up there. Charlotte's up there. Charlotte's currently number 1. They're not ranked right now, but you could see in the next few weeks they'll probably get a vote here if they can keep taking care of business.
At least a vote, at least a few votes. I would say.
App State got a vote.
Exactly. So Charlotte, I would think would probably get a vote at some point.
Because let's keep it real here. The American for basketball is a lot more difficult than the Sun Belt is when it comes to basketball.
Exactly.
Now, granted, App State has a lot more wins on their resume that is like, okay, now wait, you can actually take care of business here.
They beat Auburn.
They beat Auburn, and then they beat UNCW, who took care of Kentucky. Granted, we did that, but,
Which the thing is as well with saying they beat Auburn. Auburn at the very beginning of the year, I was not impressed by.
I wasn't either.
And that's whenever they beat them. So I will say about that. Now they're 16th in the country.
Yeah, I agree. At the same time, you got to think. But you got to look at ECU though. ECU is not playing the same basketball we were at the beginning of the year.
We were not.
We are playing a lot worse than what we were at the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, we took South Carolina to the last minute. We took Florida to the last minute. And South Carolina looks on top of the world now in basketball. taking care of Kentucky, and then just taking care of Tennessee the other day.
They're easily going to be in the top 20.
Oh, easily. Yeah. I mean, South Carolina is looking like one of the top teams right now.
I would have thought they would have been ranked after the Kentucky game.
I did too, but there's no way they're not going to be ranked after beating Tennessee. No way
not
they're
at all. Tennessee's a National Player of the Year candidate on their team.
They went into Knoxville and knocked out Tennessee.
Exactly.
They were ranked 5, I believe, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they were ranked number 5. They went into Knoxville and took them out. I mean, you've got to rank South Carolina at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
which I think the main thing is with the ECU team before we go to women's basketball, before we end our show, is the fact that I think we're playing the exact same way as we were at the beginning of the year, but we're doing it much worse. Yeah. I guess the way that we're shooting threes. We're shooting the threes. Asar has really kind of disappointed me as conference play started. I will say he's disappointed me. Johnson and Felton, they've had some good games.
Felton played all right last night. I mean, who
also played all right? Cam Hayes.
Cam Hayes also. Oh my! Cam Hayes led our team last night. RJ Felton, there was a few shots that I was like, all right, you're forcing that one a little bit. But RJ Felton, I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good player out there.
Yeah.
But you're right, Ezra Osar. He's one of those guys where you sit there and you're watching him play. He gets wide open 3-point looks, and he doesn't take them. Which I mean, if you can't make it, I'd rather you not take it. But at the same time, maybe work on that a little bit.
Exactly.
Like I think every position on the court should be able to shoot a 3 if you are wide open for a 3. I would if you are wide open, I think you should be able to shoot a 3,
especially with our
confident.
team because we're not huge.
Yeah,
we don't have a big guy like Asar and Johnson are big guys, but they're not like they're lengthy, athletic type of bigs.
Asar is. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's not Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's our big guy.
Yeah,
he's the one you're going to put in the paint. He's going to go get it. But even him, he's not bulky. Like he's tall, but he's not like some of these other bigger, bulkier guys. I'm not saying he's not bulky, but he's not like some of these other collegiate players we see. Real quick before we end our show, we're going to quickly talk about the women's basketball team tonight. Cannon, you're actually going to be calling the game tonight here on WZMB. Got a big game tonight. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, Tulsa is a very tough opponent. They are 16-5, 3-2 in the American. Solid American opponent. If we can win this game, that would do a lot for us. Tulsa, they've won their last 4 games against Charlotte, Rice, Wichita State, and FAU. Lost South Florida and lost to Temple, and they beat Tulane already. So, this is a good, solid opponent. If we win this game, we get back to 500 in the American. That's the most important part to look at.
Very important.
If Danae McNeil can hit her shots, Karina Gordon can hit her shots, and Amaya Jordan can get down and dirty in the post, we should win this game.
Well, the one thing I want to point out is Danae McNeil, we are undefeated if she gets 20-plus points.
Yeah,
but at the same time, this team does not need to be Danae McNeil and only Danae McNeil. We have to see more from all the other players on the court, and you would like to see this a little bit more. But that was the last thing I wanted to bring up before we end our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to us, Grounded in Greenville. We will be back next Thursday. And if you want to hear Cannon commentating you want to hear Cannon commentating tonight against the game against Tulsa, him and the Great Dane will be in Minges Coliseum tonight, calling the game tonight. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Other than that, my name is Nick Green.
And I'm Cannon Gates.
And we will see you next Thursday. Go Pirates.